Yeah, just watching the tape, like kind of what I said after the game, I thought there was it's sloppy at times, not as good as we need to play or are capable of playing, but guys made plays in moments that mattered. That was the great thing to see, and then their resiliency when game got tough there at the end. So that was good to see. Looking at Nevada, again, another good opponent. They got some talent. They do a nice job. They're well coached. So it's going to be a challenge, and then on the road, right? We got a great team show up on the road. We got to show up again on the road and against a very good opponent.
Do you have an update on Jam?
I don't. I usually get that later today or tomorrow.
So you have no idea if he'd be able to play?
I don't know that yet.
How much of a load can Hankerson carry in a game? He went 26 the other game. Is that really at the top end, or?
That's at the top end, yeah. And we'll get Saladin more work, and he'll be repping more this week as the number 2 back if Jam's not available. So he'll be ready to go.
How about Hatcher and Reichel? Are they anywhere in the mix at all?
Reichel is. Reichel's, he's gotten some carries and situations for us. He's a guy that, runs hard, runs well, does a really good job, in some there's some certain packages where run game wise fits kind of how he runs. So we're definitely going to take a look at that if we have to, and Reichel's right there, yeah.
And then Andre Jordan, he kind of emerged out of camp. When did you kind of have your eye on him in terms of getting the kind of playing time he's getting this season, doing the things he's doing?
Yeah, I thought, he showed a lot. He had to play in a lot of meaningful minutes at the end of the year last year, and I thought he did a nice job. And then fall camp and kind of throughout the season, he's just been steady and getting better all the time. And so his kind of play has picked up as he's continued to just prove that he's a guy. Because skill set wise, he has what we're looking for in corner. He's got length, he's got speed, dynamic athlete. It's just, young player coming along.
Coach, we've talked about your run game just a lot this year, but more specifically kind of that outside zone and then that pitch option stuff has been working really well. What about your offensive line and just kind of the backs you guys have that is able to make that so effective?
Yeah, I think the offensive line starts there. I think they do a great job of understanding the scheme, who they got to get to, making the right correct points to make sure we got the right guys blocked in those moments. And then the backs are just really good players with great vision that play off the offensive line. So whenever there's a seam, we seem to find it, which is a credit to those guys running the football.
And then kind of doubling down on the injury stuff, obviously we didn't see Cody or Jaden Robinson this weekend. Just kind of where are they at and what's their status going into Nevada?
Yeah, again, I'll get more information on that. Hope to have for sure Jaden back, but we'll see about that.
Coach, Nevada took on a really good San Jose State team this past weekend, took them to the wire. What are some of the challenges you see with this team, and what do you feel like you guys can do to kind of attack the vulnerabilities on that team?
Yeah, I think offensively they got a good quarterback. We faced him before when he was at Colorado. Good athlete, creates plays, extends plays. Good running back and run game. So we need to continue to improve there. There's no doubt. And then defensively, they got some good pass rushers, guys that can get after the quarterback. And so that's going to be big for us, is holding up when we do throw it and keeping those guys off our quarterback, and then being able to run the football and control the game.
Giovanni, I feel like showed something over these last couple of weeks maybe we hadn't seen yet this season. When did you guys feel like he had that potential to be that type of a gamer and really close things out, especially at the end?
Yeah, we knew. I mean, from the reason we recruited him and took him out of the portal was because those things showed up when he was at Idaho. He had a ton of production there, had big moments there. Then kind of as we went through fall camp, he just got more and more consistent playing that position and understanding the offense, and it's been that way every week in the games. So kind of what we saw on film and then what we saw in fall camp, it's not a surprise at how he's playing.
Giovanni had 10 carries on Saturday. Where is the sweet spot with him in terms of wanting to expose him too much to a defense running the ball?
Yeah, that's the conversation about. Now some of those were, he checked into those runs because of what we got from the defense. So he created some of those runs for himself, which was smart by him. And then some was truly designed for him to take it. So we got to make sure we don't overuse him, but definitely want to use it to create some explosives and keep the defense off balance. So there's a fine line there that me and Coach Gunderson continue to have conversation about.
Is elevation at Reno kind of a sneaky factor in that? Because it's at 4,500 feet. I don't know what kind of factor you you think it is in terms of getting your players ready for that elevation?
I don't think it's as big a factor as it's made out to be sometimes. I know when I've gone to Colorado, it hasn't been an issue even at their elevation, and it's definitely going to feel a little different. But you know, a guy that's in good shape is going to be fine. And we've been rotating quite a bit anyway. We play a lot of guys, which helps with just fatigue in general.
Coach, I'm just wondering, after the game, obviously you hugged a shirtless fan. Have you ever done that before in your career, and what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, different. I didn't know what was going on, and just kind of reacted. Yeah, that was unique.
Was Vandy over Alabama a wake-up call for all coaches or the land?
I think every week it is a wake-up call. I've said it before, there are no easy games in college football. And one team can be totally different from one week to another week. So even looking at, well, they beat them and they beat them is meaningless. It's all about that week that you're in. And so you've got to be ready to play great. And then that was a big thing for us at Colorado. You know, this last week, we did not start the game well at all and put ourselves behind the 8 ball, which created that stressful, moments at the end of the game. So hopefully our game's a wake-up call, but yeah, I mean, you can just look around the country and see that every week.
Coach, you said here last week you had all the confidence in the world in Everett Hayes as a kicker, and I just wonder, I mean, clearly that was justified, how big of a moment that was for him and for the guys and the whole operation.
Yeah, I mean, it was big in the game to send us to overtime, clutch kick. Protection was good, snap was good, and he put it through, which I knew would be the case if we did those 3 things, and we did. But happy for him to go out there and kind of, prove that he's capable of doing that in those big moments. And so that was a huge play in the game for sure.
Coach, when you kind of expect that maybe Kobe won't play this week, and you're hopeful that you get Jaden back, and we saw Marion York out as well. Just kind of where do you go in the secondary right now with it looking like a pretty thin group at the moment?
Yeah, you just guys that are ready got to step up and play. I thought Mason White came in and played well. He got one big play caught on him, but other than that, he played pretty solid, which was great to see. Tyrese Ivory got a lot more play this game than he has in the past. So guys are just going to have to continue to step up. And I think as this group continues to work together and grow in the defense, I think more and more guys will be able to play winning football for us.
You mentioned the youth and inexperience on Saturday. What's fixable with your run defense right now?
Yeah, it's really watching it. It's consistent in fundamental technique. It is nothing, and in the last 2 games, there's nothing physically that's happening to us as far as the opponent, out-scheming us or dominating us physically. It's, just a lack of, at moments, a fundamental technique that would put me in the right position or, be sound against what they're doing that is just inconsistent. And so it's leading to explosive run plays. So we got to shore up our fundamental technique and how we play up front, the second level, and then the third level. Because right now it's kind of goes back and forth between the front to the second level and back, and that's what's got to be cleaned up for us to win the games we need to win, especially going down this stretch, these next 3 games.
Is giving Bray that 3rd series, that experiment, kind of over at this point? It's been 2 weeks without it.
I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. We were not playing well, and kind of how Giovanni's playing kind of dictates some of that a little bit. I won't say that he won't get in the game. I know he's continuing to work and get better and is ready to play. And if those moments present themselves, we'll get him in. But as far as you're definitely going in at this time, probably not right now.
Coach, the dimension of Jermaine Terry II, after that initial play that obviously didn't go well for anybody, after that, how big was he in important blocking, but also in the passing? Yeah,
it was great to get the tight ends involved in the passing game, just in general, but Jermaine for sure, because he is a weapon there.
And the last series with Skylar Thomas and Andre Jordan both, just your thought of looking at everything they did on those breakups and being involved, just what your thoughts are from a teaching standpoint about how good those plays were.
Yeah, they were well done and big plays in the moment, and it was as simple as they were on the right leverage and working the correct technique, and that's what happens when they're there. Like I said, it's not a physical skill set issue, which is good. It's a consistency in how do I play, how do I align, how do my feet move, how do my eyes work. that we need to continue to clean up to be the defense that we are capable of being.
Coach, how important are these next couple of weeks gonna be for this program to potentially get bowl eligibility out of the way and just focus on, really trying to bring out the full potential of this team down the stretch?
Yeah, I think we talk about separation happening in October. That's where teams start to separate themselves from each other. And these next 3 games against really good opponents is going to be big for us to separate from everyone else, in the country and put ourselves in a position to have that last final stretch to get where we want to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you,
Thank you.
appreciate it.